Misunderstandings. It's easy to point fingers when you don't see what's in the full picture. It's so easy to fill in the spaces with all the worst things we can come up with. After all, we tend to despise what we don't understand. Misunderstandings come in all shapes and sizes. Unfortunately for us, even the most insignificant misunderstandings feel like mountains when they happen with the people who are most important to us.
What's wrong with her? Is she even my daughter?
What? Are you serious? Of course. Why are you asking me this?
It's just because, it doesn't really seem right.
I don't know. What are you trying to say? Huh? What are you saying?
Did you cheat on me? Be honest.
Of course I didn't. Why are you accusing me of such blasphemy?
I know they're talking about
Did
me.
you cheat on me? Be honest.
I don't like how they keep on fighting just because of how I look. I was wondering, how about I talk to a physician, about everything. I know, you've been there. Like, thank you for being a support in my life, but it's better to seek professional help, And I think it's time.
As you might be able to tell though, there's one major difference.
Hi, I'm Wendy, and I have a condition called albinism. It is a genetic condition where people are born without the usual pigment or color in their bodies. Our bodies aren't able to make a normal amount of melanin. This is why we have very pale skin, hair, and eyes. People with albinism like me have vision problems that are not correctable with eyeglasses, and many have poor eyesight. I am more prone to skin cancer. That's why I always make sure that I put on sunscreen when I get out of the house. As a kid, I have always seen myself different from my family, an outcast. I started having doubts every time my parents fight whether or not I am their child. You see, I have unusually pale white skin and hair and blue eyes, even though I'm purely Filipino. But first, let me tell you about my story and how I knew I had albinism.
Her family also noticed that no matter how much she is exposed to the sun, she only gets redder instead of being darker. She also looks very pale even if she's healthy. Whenever she's playing outdoors for the whole day, under the heat of the sun, she never gets tan or experiences a change of skin color.
That was a fun game!
Yes, it was.
But Wendy, I noticed that our skin color changed from playing under the heat of the sun the whole day. But how come you're still as white as before? You even just turned red.
I don't really know why.
On some occasions when her family goes on trips to the beach, she would never notice any sunburns or tanning even if she was swimming at the beach under the scorching sun. Her skin color would still be the same at the end of the day.
Being at the beach the whole day, like, oh, look how tan I am.
I noticed how you turned red earlier. How come you didn't have any skin color changes? Like, weren't you under the sun earlier?
Also wondering the same thing.
Being next to the other kids who also have white complexions, she would notice how much whiter and paler she was compared to the others.
I know, Mom, but why is it that I still look whiter than them?
My dad thought that my mom cheated,
While my relatives said that I was a product of black magic or barang. Since my mom was pretty popular at her time, some said she glowed much brighter than me. I would always find myself having such a vivid daydream, even when I'm busy. The smell of burnt candles in old wood, rotting and decaying, as this old man with sunken eyes stared into my mom's face in a dark, candlelit room, chanting and murmuring incoherent words under his breath as my mom prays to be blessed with a child. He would sit there, looking up through his thin, pale lashes, eyes almost white. He would slowly start moving sideways while chanting. Then he crawls towards her, his chanting getting louder and louder, and then boom! He yells and I wake up. The worst feeling ever. So now, I don't have to worry about wearing or applying sunscreen for a while, because I am inside the comfort of my own home. Plus, I don't have to be anxious like I'm with other people.
Oh, come on. It's cold. It's dark. He doesn't know the village.
Me being pale has caused me so much anxiety already. Why don't I get myself checked with a physician?
Well, with just looking at Wendy's appearance, I can tell that she has albinism.
Wait, what? Our Wendy has albinism? How come?
See? I told you she was perfectly fine. You even accused me of cheating on you.
In her case, she has acquired oculocutaneous albinism. This type of albinism means that she has inherited 2 copies of the mutated gene. It's the most common type that affects the skin, hair, and eyes.
Said that she has inherited copies of the mutated gene that has caused her to look like that. Which one of us did she inherit it from?
She has an autosomal recessive condition in which she inherited 2 copies of the faulty gene from the both of you. If both parents carry the gene, there is 1 in 4 chances that their child will have albinism, and 2 chances they will just be a carrier. This is the reason why it is only Wendy that has albinism. Your other children are perfectly fine, I suppose.
But it's only Wendy who has this condition.
So totoo pala akong tao?
Targeted because she's an albino. Attacks like this have been multiplying.
Picking on a young man simply because he has a genetic
I couldn't believe it that children and women and
All this time? May explanation pa lang lahat ng ito? Hindi to sumpa. Hindi to black magic, Doc.
Of course not, Wendy. Why would you think that?
I faced bullying and prejudice all my life. People my age would tease me and say that I'm adopted, that I'm not Filipino origin, even though my parents are.
Are you frustrated with the condition that you have?
I guess. I should have made Mom and Dad bring me to the hospital so that they know the real reason why I look different from them. I have been voicing my frustrations or sadness to my older sisters, as they understand and can help me with it. I've also met with a counselor, because this disorder has made me down several times already, and it helped me cope up with it.
Albinism is a unique condition. That uniqueness, however, leads to separateness and isolation for many people. Social attitudes towards albinism are often similar to those experienced by other disabilities and minority groups. These attitudes include a lack of understanding, fear of the unknown, and prejudice based on appearance. So my advice? Just continue living like a normal kid, as you are still the same kid as others.
Encourage your child to talk to you about experiences and feelings. Practice responses to teasing or embarrassing questions. Find a peer support group or online community through agencies such as the National Organization for Albinism and Hypopigmentation, or NOAA. Talk to a mental health professional who can help you and your child develop healthy communication and coping skills if needed.
We are just like anyone else, with the same lifespan and ability to reach their goals. What you do normally is what I also do. You see, we are just the same. It's just that I have a genetic disorder, and I accept who I am, even if others think of me differently.
A very basic human need is to be seen by another person, to be known and to be accepted. This is poignantly true for the person with albinism who may be immediately noticed by many but truly seen by few. This explains why it feels like a hidden condition despite its obviousness.
It's time to stop the stigma.
We are not made from witchcraft and sorcery.
We are people too with a genetic disorder.
Treat us like one.